All right, let's see the answer, the C++ programming equivalent of this loop. We said we're going to convert this Fahrenheit uh, from a Fahrenheit value of 0 to 200 with its equivalent Celsius. So we discussed this one in the previous video. So let's write a C++ program. So let's start writing the program in main. This is the beginning writing of a C++ program. So now we include return 0. So that's it. So this is how we do in C++. So this is we have empty main and we include a return 0 or void main without any return 0. So we'll go. So since there is kind of, this is the for loop. This is the for loop. So the reason why we use for is because as you can see in the diagram, there is, when you see the green lights, the green lines or the arrows, it's kind of circulars, which means you have to implement this one in a concept called loop. So we have a concept called loop in programming. So we start with this one, we initialize this one, and then every time we check, and then we do these statements, and then for the next round, we have to include the increment. So let's get back. So this is the syntax of the for loop. So we mention the initialization, the Fahrenheit equals 0, and then here we do the comparison every time there is any increment and decrement, we mention here. If there is anything to do, we will mention below the for loop inside. So we include the int Fahrenheit equals 0. Obviously Fahrenheit is an integer, so we mention its type. And then we'll do the Fahrenheit less than or equal to 200. This is this one, we represent the comparison. So we'll open the brace and then we'll mention whatever we need to do within the for loop inside it. So we do the 5/9 times the Fahrenheit minus 32 formula. And then when we mention this formula, by the way, we have to store it in somewhere. If not, the computer or the program will calculate this one and then we will just leave it. It won't even display it, so it will leave it. So we have to store it somewhere, see. So we'll declare the storage, its type. If we didn't declare or we didn't mention the storage type, like int float for C, then we'll lose. Basically, it's recommended to make it float because there is some kind of dividing and everything. Okay, so let's display the C value. Okay, but before that, if we display on the next, then we print C and then we have Fahrenheit plus plus. So we mention here in the for loop this part. This is the syntax of for loop, so we'll do the Fahrenheit plus plus. So that's, but here we mention cout, right? If we mention cout means output something. So to display that, we need to include the library, include IOStream. So we have to write include IOStream. So okay. Now for every output, let's add some new line. So it will display the first value and then new line. Then when we do the second one, it will display. So for the first time, Fahrenheit equals 0, Fahrenheit less than or equal to 200, yes, it will do these two lines and then it will increment the Fahrenheit value. It will check Fahrenheit less than or equal to 200, yes, Fahrenheit is 2, 1 actually. Then it will do the calculation, it will display. The Fahrenheit increment will be 2, 2 less than or equal to 200, yes. It will do the conversion and then display the output. It will iterate like this. When the Fahrenheit value is, let's say, iterating like this, 200, let's say 199. Then Fahrenheit 199 less than or equal to 100, yes, it will do the conversion, will display, and then it will increment the Fahrenheit. Then Fahrenheit will be 200, 200 less than or equal to 200, yes, it will calculate, display, it will increment 201. Fahrenheit less than or equal to 200, false. Then it will leave anything to do, this one, it will jump to this line. So if there is anything written in C++, it will try to do this one, of course. Let's run our program and then let's see the output. Wow, the output is 0. That's very bad. Why? Because the reason is it will consider 5/9. How much is 5/9? It will be 0 point something, right? Since 5 is an integer, 9 is an integer, integer divided by integer, the result will be an integer. It will take the integer part. So 0.0 something will be ignored, so it will take the integer value. So as you can see, every time 5/9 is 0, So 0 times anything will be like this. So let's change this one to floating point. If we make 5.0, it will be successful. Now that's what we want, but let's make the display. Let's make it a bit, you know, kind of attractive. So let's display the C and the equivalent value. Let's display C out. Let's add, before displaying everything, let's add some kind of display. Let's say F, and then with some space /T, then we can say C. F and C, by the way, /T means this slash indicates tab. So we'll have a larger tab, and then let's run it. Okay, F and C. So let's place the other text in a new line. /n is a new line, C++, in almost many programs. So see, this is the if value, and let's display the if value. This is the C value. So every time when we calculate our result, let's display the C and the F value. So let's display the Fahrenheit value and then the C value. Okay, run it. This is the F value, and then this is the C value. Let's have some space between them. So let's add, this is C. So to add some space, let's say this is the space, but /T must be in a double quote because this is just the text that we want. Okay, C, Fahrenheit, some tab, and then we have the C value. Let's run it. See, looks beautiful, right? The Fahrenheit value 0, its equivalent is 17.9. Kind of like this. So we can even add some extra line, like saying out. We can say Fahrenheit. Okay, let's make the F capital Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion. Done. Let's run this one. Okay, so this is it. Conversion done. F and C are in the same line, so let's add some new line after this. So a new line can be /n, or we can just add ind L or ind line. It means like that. Let's run it. So that's it. That's what we want. Okay, let's move this. Okay, it looks more beautiful. So we have a Fahrenheit. So what's the current temperature in your village? For example, someone told me the temperature in Fahrenheit in their village is 62. So what does it mean? 60. What's the value of that 62 Fahrenheit in Celsius? So let's go for the value of 62 because the first one is Fahrenheit. So it's 16.6. The equivalent is 16.6, which is a bit kind of cold weather. This is how it works. If you have any question or if you need any support, you can write in the comments. Have a nice day.